Tampa car dealership abruptly closed its doors today, leaving already frustrated customers wondering what to do next.
Toyota is in huge trouble. Federal prosecutors are pursuing criminal charges against Toyota executives for automotive fraud. The first time in history a major automaker faces criminal prosecution for systematic customer deception. The evidence is damning. 8 years of deliberate cover-ups, 2 million vehicles with known fire risks, and internal emails showing executives celebrating cost savings, while customers faced life-threatening dangers. Toyota's reliability reputation was the foundation of consumer trust for the entire automotive industry. Now that foundation has crumbled. What caused Toyota to abandon their legendary commitment to quality? How did they hide critical defects from regulators and customers for nearly a decade? And what does this mean for the $24 billion class action settlements already filed? The documents we've obtained reveal a conspiracy so shocking it will fundamentally change how you view automotive safety. The numbers don't lie. Public trust didn't dissolve in a single day. It unraveled through hard numbers. While Toyota's executive board issued polished commitments to uncompromising quality, independent analysts were painting a different picture. J.D. Power reliability scores for the RAV4 dropped sharply, from 91 out of 100 in the year 2016 to just 76 by the year 2024. This decline wasn't subtle. Consumer Reports demoted the RAV4 from 11th to 30th place between the years 2022 and 2023, and the fifth-generation RAV4 launched in the year 2019, racked up 7 distinct safety recalls in just 3 years. A shocking figure for a brand priding itself on first-pass quality. Deeper inspection revealed these recalls were anything but unforeseen. Internal files, unearthed through legal requests, showed engineers had flagged dangerous issues well before mass production. Defective airbag systems, wiring shorts, and erratic transmission modules had been documented before a single 2019 RAV4 left the factory floor. The average cost of repairs for out-of-warranty issues exceeded $4,000. In a time of inflation and economic uncertainty, this devastated many family budgets. Toyota's internal surveys confirmed they knew the burden was overwhelming and chose not to act. Location-based data exposed a cruel irony. RAV4 models in colder states broke down more often due to weather-sensitive components, yet Toyota made no regional adjustments, no specialized support, no policy updates, just blanket assurances that proved false. These patterns weren't theoretical. Families stranded with toddlers in sub-zero temperatures, parking garages evacuated due to vehicle fires. The very essence of reliability became a liability, and the deeper analysts looked, the more clearly they saw a pattern that began nearly a decade earlier, when cost-cutting quietly replaced quality control. 8 years of silence. Behind every failed part was a deliberate silence. The 2016 model year marked the start. Engineers found high-voltage cable corrosion in hybrid models. Rather than halt production or initiate recalls, executives chose to bury the data. Testing showed the flaw could affect every hybrid RAV4 from 2016 through 2019. These were not theoretical risks. These cables shorted and sparked fires. Internal memos recommended notifying the public. Management rejected the idea. Dealerships were flooded with complaints. Yet service teams were instructed to resolve issues discreetly, avoiding documentation that could signal a wider defect. Work orders used neutral terms like electrical adjustment to erase paper trails. The cycle repeated in 2018. Transmissions began failing under certain driving conditions. Engineers found a software glitch. The fix? A small patch. The decision? Wait until cars failed before issuing the repair. By 2019, secrecy was routine. New defects were logged as confidential. Customer complaints went into one-on-one service resolutions instead of centralized reporting. Dealerships were coached to keep the narrative positive. As owner forums grew, so did suspicions. Regulators opened investigations. Consumer advocacy groups compiled informal complaint registries. Toyota's grip on the story started to fray. Legal threats were issued to websites. Public relations firms flooded search results with cheerful testimonials. Company officials appeared before lawmakers, denying systemic failures, all while sitting on memos marked urgent reliability concern. Changes did happen, but only in secret. Fixes were made quietly between 2021 and 2022. Bulletins were issued only to service centers. Owners were not informed. The message remained, there is no problem, until finally internal dissent cracked the shell. In 2023, whistleblowers leaked internal correspondence and engineering logs. Suddenly, the story broke wide open. Lawsuits, investigations, and public outcry followed. The house Toyota built was beginning to collapse, and at its center was a mythology the company had used as armor for generations. We analyzed decades of warranty data, repair costs, and resale values to show you exactly how Toyota manipulated customers financially. You just got the roadmap to avoid $6,000 smaller repair bills, and protect your investment. If this financial intelligence is valuable to you, subscribe for more consumer protection content. The reliability myth crumbles. This wasn't just a public relations issue, it was the fall of a cultural icon. Toyota had mastered the art of reliability branding. The name itself became shorthand for longevity and peace of mind. Families inherited Toyotas like heirlooms. This emotional connection proved as powerful as any product feature, yet it also created a dangerous blind spot. Customers who identified with the brand dismissed early warning signs. They forgave faults that would have sunk other manufacturers. Toyota's internal research showed owners would endure issues 3 times longer before switching brands. Executives didn't just know this, they exploited it. Marketing leaned into nostalgia, not performance. Advertisements emphasized heritage over hard data. Service departments were trained to remind owners of Toyota's legendary durability. Even when repairs contradicted that claim, the loyalty became a moat Toyota used to silence dissent. One owner, Jennifer Walsh of Denver, blamed herself for her vehicle's failings. Her Rav4 had transmission failures by 30,000 miles. She assumed it was her fault until she met others online with the same story. That moment of collective realization cut deeper than any recall notice. Toyota's influence reached into journalism and third-party endorsements. Automotive journalists received early access and corporate perks. Insurance companies promoted Toyota's safety record without disclosing financial ties. Fleet companies pushed Toyota for low maintenance, despite private data showing otherwise. Digital tools amplified the illusion. Positive search results were prioritized. Problem reports were buried by optimized content. Social media was scanned and counter-messaging deployed. The brand was everywhere, reinforcing itself with every search query. Eventually, facts overtook the fiction. Independent databases revealed the cracks. Investigative outlets published the truth. Former Toyota loyalists began to question not just their vehicle, but the belief system behind it. Academics began citing the company in case studies on loyalty exploitation. It was a textbook example of psychological branding used to deflect accountability. Toyota hadn't just sold cars, they had sold trust. And when that trust collapsed, it took a billion-dollar legacy with it. Meanwhile, back in the design labs of Japan, another conversation was beginning to unfold: the corrosion catastrophe. In less than 2 years, trust in Toyota's engineering began to corrode, just like the Rav4's high-voltage connectors. A confidential report from the 15th of March, 2016, exposed a critical design flaw. Connectors were placed in direct contact with road grime and moisture, creating rapid rust buildup. The flaw was neither unknown nor accidental. Toyota's own testing showed failures could occur within 6 months in colder climates. Michael Chen of Minneapolis found out the hard way. His 2017 Rav4 hybrid shut down in sub-zero temperatures, stranding him and his daughter. Dealership staff cited environmental damage and denied warranty coverage, even though Toyota had quietly issued internal bulletins acknowledging the defect. Rather than redesign the part or alert customers, Toyota made minor tweaks in later models, adjustments that delayed the problem but did not solve it. Warranty cutoffs were enforced strategically to reduce corporate liability. Experts like Dr. Sarah Richardson concluded the flaw violated basic design standards. Customers paid the price, financially and in safety risks. The corrosion case became the first public crack in Toyota's technical integrity. Battery fires and cover stories. The danger didn't stop on the road, it followed you home. In September of the year 2020, Toyota engineers flagged a fire risk tied to battery shifting in Rav4s made from 2013 through 2018. A slight battery movement during driving could cause a terminal short, igniting plastic components in seconds. One such fire destroyed a parking garage in Seattle in the year 2018. Dozens more followed. Toyota documented 37 such fires, but never informed regulators. Each was labeled an isolated incident. Publicly, Toyota blamed aftermarket parts or vague owner misuse. Internally, legal teams overruled engineering calls for a recall, fearing financial fallout. A design fix was quietly introduced in the year 2019, but owners of earlier models were never told. Whistleblower testimony confirmed that cost savings overruled safety. The fire risk remained hidden, even as families ran from burning vehicles. Transmission troubles and warranty tricks. Gearboxes became the next battleground. Toyota discovered during pre-production that its transmission software created lurching, delayed shifts, and acceleration hesitation. Instead of fixing the root code, they applied a patch and moved to full production. Drivers reported hazardous surges in intersections and lag during highway merging. Complaints were reclassified as drivability concerns, allowing Toyota to avoid repairs under warranty. David Wong of Los Angeles was charged $250 for diagnostics despite having a valid warranty. He later learned a fix existed, but only if he knew to ask. Dealerships were trained to deny claims unless total failure occurred. Engineers internally acknowledged the problem, but customer service departments shifted blame to drivers. The oil consumption conspiracy. The engine itself itself was designed to consume more than just fuel. In 2014, Toyota engineers opted for a piston ring configuration that they knew would raise oil consumption dramatically, tripling it under normal use. Internal documents framed this as a way to boost service revenue. Customers like Patricia Rodriguez noticed oil vanishing every few hundred miles. Dealerships dismissed it as normal. Oil tests were made intentionally difficult. Warranty claims were blocked by moving the benchmark, allowing up to 1 quart per 600 miles. Even experts called this a manipulation. More oil sold, more service visits logged, and owners left footing the bill for an engineered flaw masked as routine wear. Across the Pacific, competitors saw not a leader, but a liability. Warranty warfare. Your warranty expired the moment you needed it most. Hidden in Toyota's fine print was a web of legal engineering designed not to protect you, but to protect them. Internal documents from the company's legal division show a meticulously crafted strategy. Time warranty, limits to expire just before known defect timelines began. Toyota's data showed most serious failures occurred around 39 months or 65,000 kilometers. Their warranty, exactly 3 years and 60,000. This was not coincidence. It was actuarial science deployed against the customer. Teresa Walsh of Vancouver faced this reality when her high-voltage system failed at 38 months and 62,000 kilometers. The dealership's answer was simple. The warranty had expired. The bill, $4,800. What they failed to disclose was that Toyota had a database of identical failures and a standard repair protocol already in place. Warranty exclusions extended far beyond just timing. Environmental damage, which Toyota's design had made inevitable, was categorically excluded. Customers were never warned. They were told it was standard. In reality, Toyota had constructed legal armor around a design flaw. The warranty documents themselves were a maze, cross-referenced, vague, and buried in legal language. Customers needed legal help just to understand what they were actually buying. Most never realized their protection was paper-thin. Service departments were trained to find any reason to deny coverage. Decision trees showed advisors how to pivot customer complaints into environmental, maintenance, or driver-caused issues. A $4,000 repair became a non-warranty event. The results were devastating. Toyota's internal data showed that 60% of customers would defer repairs when costs passed $4,000. This allowed Toyota to escape liability, while customers endured financial stress, or worse, continued driving unsafe vehicles. It was war. Legal war disguised as routine service. Dealership deception network. How do you keep a global problem quiet? You turn your dealerships into denial machines. Toyota's franchise network became the operational arm of a massive gaslighting effort, carefully trained to make customers doubt their own experiences. Service advisors were trained in specific scripts for Rav4 problems. For transmission hesitation, normal behavior for modern drivetrains. For oil consumption, efficient engines may burn a little oil. For electrical malfunctions, all cars have some quirks. These scripts weren't improvised. They were printed, distributed, and practiced. When Michael Rodriguez in Austin visited 3 Toyota dealerships with the same transmission issue, he got 3 identical answers. He wasn't imagining things. He was encountering corporate programming. Complaints were funneled into a data system, but coded to minimize impact. Transmission failure became drivability concern. Electrical failure became intermittent user issue. It was a sophisticated language system designed to report everything while revealing nothing. Service advisors had incentives to keep repairs out of warranty. Bonuses were tied to customer pay ratio and warranty claim reductions. Technicians were penalized for doing too many free repairs. The result? A network financially wired to deny responsibility. Diagnostics were kept shallow. Unless customers insisted and paid, no detesting was done. Problems stayed hidden. Warranty claims stayed low. Online forums and social media. Advisors were taught to dismiss them. Every vehicle is different. Don't trust what you read online. Customers were cut off from peer information. Customer Sandra Kim said she felt crazy after 3 visits with no acknowledgement of her electrical issues. That was the goal: psychological disarmament. Toyota's dealership network became a firewall between the truth and the people who needed it most. The Soy Wire Scandal. What looked like environmental leadership was just hidden sabotage. Toyota switched to soy-based wire insulation in the name of sustainability. In reality, it was cheaper and tastier to rodents. Internal tests showed the switch would attract pests. Management approved it anyway. The switch began in 2015, part of a green initiative Toyota marketed aggressively, but their engineers knew better. In lab tests, rodents targeted soy insulation over traditional plastics 12-1. Soon after, customers began reporting electrical failures. The culprit? Rodents chewing through soy wires. Repairs often topped $6,000, but warranty coverage denied, classified as environmental. Jennifer Brooks in rural Oregon learned the hard way. Her vehicle lost power on a dark highway. Inspection revealed chewed insulation, just soy-based wires destroyed, nothing else. The repair cost exceeded the car's value. Toyota knew this would happen. Memos from 2014 2014 warned of rodent attraction, but the company pushed forward anyway, then sold rodent repellents as a solution. They profited from the damage. Service advisors were trained to blame customers. You should have stored your vehicle better. Maybe consider a garage. Consumer advocates found Rav4s had rodent damage rates 8 times higher than competitors. Toyota's environmental message had become a financial trap for the people who believed it most. The Soy Wire Scandal wasn't just ironic, it was predatory. Trade-in value manipulation. The deception didn't end when the car left the lot. Toyota actively manipulated resale values to maintain new vehicle sales while hiding long-term defects. They started by scrubbing history reports. Repairs, labeled as routine maintenance. Recalls, hidden unless federally mandated. The result? A vehicle history that looked clean when it wasn't. Dealership appraisers followed suit. Internal guidelines said to ignore drivability complaints, electrical anomalies, and oil consumption if not visible during a brief test drive. Robert Chen tried to trade in his Rav4 after repeated electrical failures. Despite documentation, his dealer classified the car as excellent. An independent appraiser later revealed it was worth $8,000 less. Toyota's certified pre-owned program further warped the market. Vehicles with known issues were excluded from certification, but the public never knew which ones. Prices stayed high, information stayed hidden. Toyota worked with auction houses to suppress defect disclosures, maintaining inflated wholesale prices. Independent dealers and consumers bore the risk. Statistical analysis revealed strange patterns. Stanford researcher Dr. Patricia Williams found Rav4s held resale value longer than comparable but more reliable cars. It wasn't market magic, it was manipulation. Customers found themselves underwater. Loans exceeded resale value. Trade-ins didn't cover new purchases. Families who counted on equity for education or emergencies were left with nothing. Sandra Martinez from Denver said it best, "I wasn't just sold a car, I was sold a lie about what that car would be worth." Toyota marketed Rav4s as long-term investments. Their own data showed otherwise. The strategy was clear: inflate the present, ignore the future. What customers believed was value was just another layer of deception. The legal landscape shifts. In only 18 months, the legal tide turned against Toyota in ways the industry had never witnessed. On the 15th of March in the year 2023, federal prosecutors in Detroit announced criminal referrals for automotive fraud, marking the first time executives faced criminal charges for systematic deception, not just isolated incidents. The charges stemmed from the Rav4 reliability scandal, but their implications extended industry-wide. The Department of Justice had obtained internal communications showing that Toyota executives concealed defects despite knowing the risks. Former Toyota engineer David Kim provided critical evidence: internal memos, engineering logs, and emails detailing the decision to suppress known safety issues. This wasn't negligence, it was strategy. Federal investigators uncovered deliberate data destruction. Starting in late 2022, emails vanished. Engineering reports were reclassified under legal privilege. Key staff were reassigned to overseas posts. These moves didn't slow the case, they escalated it. Prosecutors filed obstruction charges alongside fraud. Civil litigation surged. Class action lawsuits were filed in 37 states, representing more than 2.4 million Rav4 owners. One lead plaintiff, Mariah Rodriguez, saw her driveway engulfed in flames when her hybrid model caught fire. Internal Toyota files showed engineers had flagged this failure scenario 18 months before her car left the factory. Attorneys general across the country launched parallel consumer protection cases. Toyota's marketing, which had promoted unmatched reliability, now stood as evidence of consumer fraud. International regulators joined in. Canada, Australia, and the European Union opened their own investigations. Analysts projected global liability could exceed $20 billion. By late 2023, Toyota executives entered plea negotiations. The first to break ranks was engineering manager Susan Walsh. She pled guilty and agreed to testify, revealing the internal culture of silence that prioritized image over integrity. Congressional hearings followed. Legislators, armed with years of internal correspondence, prepared to expose the scope of Toyota's deception and to rewrite the rules of auto industry accountability. Global reputation collapse. Markets punish betrayal. Toyota's reckoning began in boardrooms, but spread to customers, dealerships, and global finance. On the 30th of January in the year 2024, Chairman Akio Toyoda's admission of successive irregularities triggered a 7% stock plunge. By day's end, $12 billion in value had disappeared. Social media erupted. The hashtag Toyota lied to me trended across continents. Thousands of drivers shared their stories. Stories of silence, denial, and mechanical failure. Authentic outrage cut deeper than any journalist's critique. Public relations teams couldn't compete with lived experience. Analysts revised forecasts overnight. Goldman Sachs issued its first sell recommendation on Toyota stock in more than 2 decades. The brand's reliability premium. The foundation of its pricing power was gone. Competitors capitalized. Honda launched ads highlighting customer trust. Subaru emphasized safety-first design. Mazda ran a campaign titled "Nothing Hidden." Their messages resonated, especially in Europe, where Toyota's green credibility had been shattered by the Soy Wire Scandal. In just 6 months, European Toyota sales fell by 23%. Domestic Japanese sales dropped 15%. Lenders adjusted risk models. Insurance providers raised premiums for RAV4s. Fleet operators canceled contracts. Rental companies walked away. The ripple effects weren't just financial, they were cultural. Toyota's aura of dependability had vanished. Suppliers and dealers faced collateral damage. Smaller dealerships sued Toyota, claiming loss of reputation and revenue. Engineers resigned. Recruitment efforts stalled. Journalists who once praised Toyota began publishing retractions and self-critiques. Credit agencies placed Toyota on a watch list. One headline in an international auto journal captured the moment. The myth has melted. The safer alternatives. In the vacuum, Toyota left behind. Customers sought vehicles built on facts, not folklore. Reliability was no longer assumed. It had to be proven. Mazda's CX-5 surged ahead with a reliability score of 82 from J.D. Power. It outpaced the RAV4's declining 76. Customers cited honest service and transparent documentation as key factors in switching. Patricia Williams from Denver called her CX-5 return to sanity. Honda's CR-V gained similar traction. Service advisors provided detailed repair forecasts and maintenance training. Drivers trusted them not because of brand mythology, but because of clarity and competence. Subaru's Forester offered rugged dependability without electrical complexity. Its mechanical all-wheel drive outperformed Toyota's compromised hybrid systems. Owners cited lower stress and greater confidence. Cost comparisons revealed hard truths. Toyota's supposed value proposition crumbled under scrutiny. Competitors offered similar purchase prices, but with lower service costs, better resale retention, and fewer surprise repairs. Electric vehicles also gained ground. Models from Ford, Tesla, and General Motors promised clean energy without Toyota's hybrid shortcomings. High-voltage systems were designed with durability and disclosure in mind. Consumer registration data confirmed the trend. Toyota customers weren't just switching, they were staying gone. Brand loyalty had flipped. Protection strategies for current owners. If you still own a RAV4, the road ahead is complicated, but not hopeless. Legal settlements, warranty reviews, and resale timing can protect your finances if you act strategically. Start by documenting everything: symptoms, dealership visits, repairs, service communications. These records will be essential in claim processes. Keep copies, log dates, and mileage. Don't rely on verbal assurances. Conduct a full safety inspection. Focus on electrical warnings and high-voltage cable conditions. If your vehicle shows issues, demand a full diagnostic, not a dismissive operating normally verdict. Use your vehicle identification number to track recalls through official government databases. Recheck weekly. Many recalls begin with narrow criteria and expand over time. If you're eligible for a class action payout, file promptly. If deadlines have passed, stay informed. Supplemental settlements are expected. Compensation may range from $5,000 to $15,000. Challenge warranty denials. Regulators have flagged Toyota's denial practices. Escalate claims. Demand written justifications. Contact corporate offices if dealerships stonewall. Evaluate your vehicle's resale timing. Independent appraisals will often reflect lower but more realistic market values. Trade-in offers may disguise deeper losses. Review insurance coverage. If your provider penalizes RAV4 ownership, shop around. Some insurers offer discounts for completing electrical inspections or installing fire suppression tools. If considering an extended warranty, read every clause. Many exclude known RAV4 issues. Ask providers specifically about high voltage and transmission coverage. If your loan exceeds vehicle value, explore lender options. Some offer loan restructuring or protection plans for affected models. Avoid waiting until payments become burdensome. For higher risk drivers, keep an emergency kit, electrical fire extinguisher, emergency contacts, and alternate transport plans. It's not paranoia, it's preparedness. The story of the RAV4 scandal won't end in courtrooms alone. It will end in driveways, dealerships, and the choices owners make next. What's your RAV4 story? Have you experienced any of these hidden defects? Or are you planning your exit strategy? Your experiences help other owners make informed decisions. Share them in the comments below. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there.